This is Sophie Aldred with The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
Hello, welcome, fellow Whovians, to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. I am your host with the most, Paparazzo Dave Chapman, and it was not my fault that we're running late. No, not me. I was running a little behind, but I did not keep us late. I was still here on time. That being said, thank you for being patient and joining us on this fabulous episode as we review Big Finish Audio's Star-Crossed, starring Alex Kingston as River Song and Christopher Eccleston as the Ninth Doctor. Oh my God, can you imagine these two together? I don't have to imagine it because I listened to it. And I'm not the only one. Look who else we've got here. It's Candyman.
Hi, Candyman. These are not matchmaking.
That's a terrible joke, and people will get it later.
Yeah, they will do. I'll talk about it later on. But
exactly.
Yeah, I thought of that. It's candy. It's a Candyman. I've got to get some candy.
It's true. And of course, we've got... And returning after a long-departed absence while he works with, well, the two of us on Spill the Geek Tea, Reverend Amagon. Hey, Tom.
Dave, the candy man. Hey, I brought some Tim and Tam. How about that, apples?
I feel left out now. I didn't bring any candy. I don't know. Christian, did you bring any candy?
I did not bring any candy. I just brought him.
Well,
I brought the candy man. Yeah, and I'm still reeling over my 19-hour grounded trip from TikTok. So it was like that. Everybody was like, oh, they're sitting on their hands going like, oh, we're being punished for something. And then it finally came back and everybody exploded back on TikTok. So it's nice to be back. So, wait. I got the banner right here. So if you want to check us out on TikTok, there we are. The Traveling TARDIS is back, as well as everybody else who still can't figure out why we were punished for 19 hours, but here we are. We're back. So
without getting banned for political stuff, I won't suggest why. All I know is that I never left. Hey, Mark, are you on TikTok? Because, I was going to say,
I never
I don't know what you guys are talking about. We had no problems with TikTok
we don't get banned for things like this. So
No.
She's going to kill you. One day she will kill you.
I look forward to it.
I mean, she has to come over here to do it, and I am all worthy.
Come, Sophie, come. We
would like you to kill us. Make it the last episode. Yes.
Yeah. You can do it live on air. You can totally take me out. I'm fine with this. Just got to do it on this side of the ocean. Or, I guess, meet me when I'm over there. Not sunny here in California. George has been watching reports of the blizzard all day. Yeah, we've been very lucky up here. It is, I don't even know what, I set my watch to charge. I don't even know what it is. It has been very, very windy, but not terribly cold. Somewhere around, I don't know, -5 or something.
Meanwhile, back in Florida.
Yeah, meanwhile, back in Florida.
Meanwhile, back in the ranch.
We've got
a blistering 46.
There we go. Here we go. It is -2.
It's +2 in the UK.
27.
Is that Celsius or Fahrenheit?
We're talking about new money. We don't go that old Fahrenheit, that only the US.
Old, whatever.
I'm just going to leave it up there.
You're late.
It's not even going to read it.
You should go build snow people in compromising position in your neighbor's yard. Dave Chapman.
Dave's here, man.
Dave's here, man.
No, it was not me. It was not me, Roger.
Yep.
Not my fault. I just ran behind. It had nothing to do with technical issues. But
it's a technicality,
I'm also vamping a little bit, hoping that we can make sure that everything is lined up for our first segment of the day, which is, of course, Who Knew News, with the amazing Gadget Pendragon. So you need a few more minutes to kind of collect herself and collect her stuff. So I think she looks vaguely ready. So let's do the whole Who Knew News thing.
Okay.
That's the wrong button. That's the overlay. Not the video.
That was Dave's fault.
Oh, we're professional. We are professional.
Hi, guys. So, today, let's see, I'm going to just be very light with it and everything because we do have some sad news in the WHOniverse and everything. Christopher Benjamin, noted for a few stints in Doctor Who television as well as in Big Finish. He was notably remembered for playing Harry Gordon Django in the 1977 Doctor Who story, The Italians of When. You get the dyslexic the worst.
It's the Italians. I went.
I can't say it, okay?
No, I just.
But yes, this is how bad Who Knew This tonight. We have to make you laugh when it's sad times because it is sad to see that this famous thespian is now without us and has left us with more stories from Big Finish than really Doctor Who TV, but at least now we can always hear him and hear his beautiful work and everything throughout time and space, you know? And also, we have some other news that'll go away from being sad and everything and stuff. Meanwhile, keep an eye on this character with him because it might relate to tonight's story and everything. Ever heard of Tom Baker, people? Well, he just celebrated his 91st birthday and we're getting a present. It seems that he's going to be showing up for a small convention coming up. I'm just finding the details right now because I just wanted to make sure I had them correct and everything.
All of this time.
91. Can you believe this? 91.
It's not fair.
Nah, I think he's gonna live to be 100. He's an original Time Lord. He is the original Time Lord. He is the real Time Lord. You know? And it seems that he will be April 12th, 2025 at the Mermaid Inn Rye. They're having 50 attendees, and he will be in person to sign and talk with all his fans and everything. I'm just trying to make sure where the Mermaid Inn in Rye is. That's what I was trying to find. So basically, if anybody would like to find out the full details or register, you can go to I'll spell it out for you guys. cygnusalpha.org/a moment in time so that you can have your chance to be spending time with this legend and everything.
I think as well, 50 people too.
Yeah, but you got to remember, it's rare to see David Tennant and him come out for things and stuff. So this year might be the year that we might see some rarities.
It's rare that he comes out, period.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do it? Can we launch him up there with Captain Kirk into space for one of his last ventures?
Nah, I think he's going to outlive everybody. He is going to outlive everybody because
I want to.
No, what did he always say? Like you can't, like a child. What was the expression? The childish expression that he would say in the show.
What's the point of being grown up if you can't be childish?
Right. So he's a kid at heart. That's why he's not aging. He's a kid at heart.
And I just want to let people know this particular picture I wrote to Tom Baker like when I was a kid. I don't even remember what age, but I've kept this picture for quite some time. I scanned it, and this is the picture that he said. I wrote him a question. I think it was something like, please come to Florida, or when can you come to Florida? And next thing I know, I'm getting a picture with his autograph on the back. So that's the actual picture that I got from Tom. So I'm sure he just hands them out like they're candy. But
and speaking of conventions, if anybody is in the UK area and everything, phantomevents.co.uk is having their events at different conventions. They have Utopia, as well as I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce this town for the name. I'm sorry, I'm blind as a bat and everything. But they have lineups with all Doctor Who characters, such as Sarah Griffin's, and I cannot pronounce her name, but she played where was it that she played Polly in Doctor Who, as well as Fiona Walker. And there was one other con called
Lady Painfort.
How do you pronounce it?
Lady Painfort from the 25th anniversary Silver Nemesis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then you also have Julian Glover also appearing as well. So if you want to check them out at phantomevents.co.uk, you can get your tickets and everything. They're signing autographs and everything. And one of our own, James, sent a picture with Julian and at an event that he had went to and everything. But then we also have some other news, and I know we haven't heard this name in a while connected to Doctor Who, but John Barrowman has been blackballed and can't get an audition anymore, according to the news story. Damn. It seems that the past experience with Doctor Who has left a bad taste in his mouth, even though he was scripted to do certain things or to be in his birthday suit on set and everything and stuff like that. He admits that if we did it today, he would never be able to get away with what he got away with, but it shouldn't be what causes him not to come back to Doctor Who. It basically should not be blackballing him from things that he can do because of his flamboyant nature and the fact that he was just being himself.
Well, the only thing, the thing I've got to worry.
Yeah.
The thing is, when Noel Clark came out and mentioned what he did,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I mean, if it were anybody else at any job, if it were you, me, or somebody else, we would have been gone. Our names would have been buried. Nobody would even know we existed
Right.
at that point. So, but
he even stated that the staff even came down on set all the time to see these, to make sure that he was appropriate and everything and stuff.
Oh, it's the same. It's the same thing when they go to conventions. I mean, he'll walk over somebody with just wearing a TARDIS skirt on. He'll walk over a guy. So I'm just like, it's one of those things. Like, if you don't understand John Barrowman, you don't understand what you're about to get into. Having said that, I see him apologizing to people, which drives me insane. He's got nobody to apologize to. He went through the BBC. The BBC said, okay, they kept him. And I was just like, I have no begrudge against what John Barrowman did. I have a grudge against the BBC for letting it happen and saying you have a 0% policy on this. And then,
But it's funny, the last we saw of him was with Jodie's doctor.
Yeah.
And that was the last time we saw him. But now he's not allowed to be with Nashuti or this series. And I don't know if it's just BBC or however, but to be blackballed because you're following what the protocols were prior and you understand that now we're in a new era. I'll go with the new era, but you still are faulting me for my past.
Right. But it's still, I don't fault him for his past. First of all, like you said, it's his character. That's why people go to conventions to see him.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that we're going into an adult experience. However, when he was on the set, that should have been gone. That should never have happened. That shouldn't have been moved forward. But they let it go and they were just like, and now that it's out in the open, I'm like, BBC, you got something to explain to. If you have a 0% policy and you just got caught red-handed with this, I don't blame John Barrowman for doing that. That's not his problem anymore. That's BBC's problem for letting it happen and letting him continue to do that. And it
does hurt his career with other studios and everything, because he was on Arrow and he was on other shows and everything. And I had met him sort of at Heroes and Villains, and it was the same thing, the same flamboyant attitude. He was very alive, but he stayed in character for his Arrow character. And when people would talk about Doctor Who, he says that's another convention. So he knew where to separate and draw the lines for each studios and stuff. But this is sad that he can be blackballed just because of his past,
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway, talking about Tom Baker's thing, I've just double checked where it is. It's Little Mermaid Pub in Rye, which is Tonbridge in Kent in England.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Candyman.
And it's Signet Alpha is their event.
Well, it looks like timescales. I would think it was like, only 50 people can meet Tom Baker in April. That's probably already sold. I would have been thinking it was sold out the moment it hit.
The same like David Tennant. I think it would have been sold out like in a second, because these are rare events by people that never go anywhere. Yeah,
but I agree with you, timescales. I definitely would go see Tom if somehow or another he ended up in the United States. I'd probably have to mortgage the house, but I mean,
same with me. When I met Tom, I had the choice to make: either go to my mum's birthday or go see Tom Baker. Guess which one won?
Oh,
you got punished.
No. What you do is you take mom to see Tom Baker. You put it together and make it. That's how you package it. See, that's how you. Mom, it's your birthday. I'm gonna have you go see Tom Baker. She's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So
I did get permission first. I did ask my mum whether or not she'll be happy.
After she beat yes. You.
Yeah, I was in the doghouse for the next couple of days.
So basically today we only had a short version of the news. There were a lot of other situations happening in around the world, because I was really going to start this with the death of TikTok. But after it came back to life, I said, well, there's the Phoenix rising from the ashes. So I hope you guys do check us out on TikTok and everything. And for those of you that weren't on it, you didn't miss much. And like me, I was never on it, so I was just watching for the fallout and everything. That was my part of the news. I just was waiting to see who would have a nervous breakdown and who was actually going to be like the episode of The Simpsons where they went out and go play.
Yeah, it was just like it was social media. It was just like everybody was watching their friends go. It's just like, okay, it's like it was another social media platform, and for us, we diversify. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on X. So I mean,
MySpace.
What's that?
MySpace.
I think it still exists.
We don't talk about that.
It might still exist because I thought there was a revamp of MySpace. Anybody though lost their previous one? Yeah.
Wasn't Justin Timberlake supposed to buy that thing and revamp it or something like that? It's just
who knows. It's long past.
Well, I'm going to ask my fellow panelists on here. Do you have any Who news for me? Because since we have people from different areas and everything, is anything happening in your area that's coming up and everything?
Yeah, I will go ahead and add that on there. First of all, and I'll try to remind everybody, it's coming up very soon. It's around the corner. MegaCon taking place February 6th to the 9th on that weekend. Get your tickets now at MegaCon. I think it's Fan Expo Orlando or something like that. Or you can just type in MegaCon Orlando in Google search and you can find it. But I think right now we're up to 8 Doctor Who celebrities, including Catherine Tate, Matt Smith, Jodie Whittaker. What's her real name? Not Yasmin Khan. What's her real name? Mandip Gill. Also, we have Arthur Darvill, Alex Kingston, speaking of which. So, yeah, they're going to be out there.
Man, it'll be awesome if you can get everyone at MegaCon who's Doctor Who to be in a picture with a little boy Blue. I don't know how you can get that.
Oh, I'll be broke. I had to sell the car and walk home.
Nice TARDIS car.
No, my TARDIS car. I'm gonna have to sell that. But I was just like, any more pictures of this like not gonna happen. But they're gonna be out there all that weekend. Plus, I know there were a few comments asking, and we will be having an interview with Nina DeCosimo. We don't know when is expecting him yet. We had some news that came up, I think it was yesterday or this morning. And all we're going to say is all of our love and hopes for Nina, whatever she needs to do to take care of herself, what's going on. We will definitely have an interview, but on Nina's terms. So if Nina, if you're watching, like I said, all the love from the team. If you need anything, let us know. But we hopefully will have an interview with Nina coming up very shortly, hopefully before MegaCon. If not, we'll have her out after MegaCon when we have our discussion. And of course, guys, thank you so much for supporting us. There we are right now in real time, 49,370 day.
Yeah, we need our 50th. Come on, guys. We want to get them on camera.
We want to get to 50 before the month ends, if anything, before we get to MegaCon, so we can walk through the door and go, hey, we're 50K.
Woo!
I don't know what that means.
It means we're getting status.
We're
getting closer to that silver thing that goes on the wall with you, Christian.
Yeah, I know. That goes on the wall.
It goes on the wall unless they have a stand now on it and everything.
Follow you home.
It's going to say the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. So anybody else got anything coming up? Dave?
I mean, I've got MegaCon coming up. Mandy and Jodie have been confirmed for Calgary in April. So now my big conundrum is, do I spend the inevitably more expensive without exchange and way more expensive with exchange to get them to sign something at MegaCon? Or do I wait till I know it's going to be cheaper and risk something coming up?
Roll D20.
It's lottery, isn't it?
Like it really is.
It's poker.
I have no idea what I'm going to decide. It will depend largely on what I think the exchange rate does in the next 2 weeks or so. Because right now it is absolute garbage. So it's just terrible right now. So if I think I'm going to have to hold off, we'll see who gets announced between now and then as well for Calgary, and I'll make other decisions at that point. But yeah, there will definitely be some Who at the Calgary Expo. I think also at the Vancouver Expo, which is before MegaCon. I know Alex Kingston will also be at Pensacon. So yeah, they're all the conventions all the time. We are hitting that season. Mostly just catch up with me on the road, I guess.
Well, I would also think of the opportunity because Arthur and Freema, I barely see going on any tour, but Jody now has been going on tour. Matt, maybe, I don't know, but it's a luck of the draw of who's going to be there. And God, the funny part about it is, and I don't want to say funny, haha, just interesting. It's like I wanted to get a picture with Stan Lee, but he was always like $200 some odd. And I said, this guy goes every year, everywhere, to every convention, because he's just raking in the money. I said, I'll just wait. And of course, the inevitable happened. So, like, you lose your chance. So,
Christian, you're going to hate me.
What? Why would I hate you?
Well, New York Comic Con, they had kept some of the stars on the first floor, and Vern was always around. The kid from Willy Wonka was around, meaning the adult now, right? And I'd had the TARDIS, and the door was open. He called me in, so I got to sit and eat lunch with Stan Lee, and I have 2 autographed comic books from him.
All right, thanks for playing the Who Knew News. Let's go ahead and wrap
there we go.
up.
We'll just take her right out of the show. And now let's get to
let's end the Who Knew News right now.
That was a fluke that happened at New York Comic Con. I don't know how that happened, but I do miss Vern Troy because he used to try to steal the TARDIS on his scooter every time downstairs by the lunchroom. I had to chase that guy down the damn thing, but no one would give me the video of it. I'm like, guys, anybody got video of it? Nope. Because they didn't know who was on the scooter. I'm like, you know who's on the scooter. They're like, then when they found out, they were like, what? And then they're posing for pictures.
There's a MegaCon Dublin?
Yeah.
There's a couple of MegaCons, yeah.
MegaCons is coming to the UK. There's been a couple already.
Oh, no.
Is MegaCon Repop or MegaCon is its own entity?
No, MegaCon is Fan Expo.
So Repop has the other ones, and Fan Expo has MegaCon. Yeah. So that does make sense, the newsletter I got, because they said they were popping up other locations.
Repop is Florida SuperCon, which used to be GalaxyCon, and GalaxyCon is its own thing all over the place. So,
so working our way through some of these comments here. In the meantime, we are here to review Starcrossed.
Okay.
Yeah, but
all right. So let me just bring up a thing here.
You didn't tell me it was 3.
3 parts. It's okay. So what did you have to? What do you give it, Gadget?
Are we doing individual parts? Or are we doing
I was about to say that.
Do you want to rate each individually, or do you want the whole thing?
Either or both.
Okay, if you're going based on all 3, the first one a 7, the second one 7.5, the last one a 7.
Okay.
And then all together, if you average it out, it would be probably a 7. Yeah.
We got to do math here.
And what do you
have to do math?
What do you got going on?
I'll do the math because that's what I'm good at. Yeah.
Mark, what do you think?
Okay, swipe right. I'm in between a 6 and an 8. So
it's a 7.
That's a 7.
That would be 7.
It's not a 7. Okay. I'll explain later. I will say 6 and 8. Okay, for swipe right. Second one, probably 7.5, maybe 7.25, roughly like that. And the last one, 6.
You're barely making this difficult, aren't you?
Yeah,
excellent.
You know I'm back because I was still putting quarters in.
His is a 7 also because you had the 6 plus the 7 point whatever. Yeah, his is about a 7. Yeah, 6.9 technically.
Tom, what about you?
I hate fractions, so I'll leave those out.
That's why we use the Dewey Decimal System around here.
First one, I'm going to say 7. Second one, okay, just say 7. But the last one, I'm going 8.
Okay.
7.5. Okay.
And Christian.
I got the fingers right.
6, 5, 8.5.
And you have a go over me with doing points.
7.3. This is a 7.3.
Okay, Mister, it's between 6 and 8.
It's a 7.3.
Poor little 7's just not going to get its shout out for today, is it?
Yeah.
Actually, 7.2.98, but that's why he's a 7.3.
All right, so we're going to go with, you know what? I'm just going to make Christian go first.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Hang on one
I had to
second.
do
Because
that.
my notes
Vaguely lowest overall, so, you know.
Vaguely lowest? Was it really?
Without doing
Me
actual math.
and Mark had about 7. 7.3 is Christian, and 7.5 is yeah.
I gotta get my notes out already. Jeez.
Yeah, you said 6 and 5. You are the lowest.
Mhm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Come on, talk amongst yourselves. I wasn't ready for me first.
This is one of
All
those
right,
nights.
fine. We'll let him off. We'll put Gadget in the hot seat.
All right.
Hi,
Yeah,
Gadget.
because like I said, I really want to have a meeting with Big Finish. They need to work on their things for dyslexia. They need to. I found that this one actually it said the option of putting captions on so I could read and listen to it. Then it goes, not compatible with your device. I was like, oh, and everything. And me trying to figure out, because at first I couldn't figure out where I was, what was going on, because it did not sound like the Ninth Doctor. It didn't have the same as if you were when he was with Rose and everything on the TV show and everything. So I was trying to figure out where he was, what was going on. And with the first one, swipe right, if that's the first one, that one was just one of those where it's scary and it's not scary because AI taking over everything. At the same time, what people presume you like and presume how you match up with people and everything. And the fact that the character was of a certain orientation and everything, if I can say that orientation, and it brought a lot of light into something, because you never know. I can't say it. Yeah, that the character was asexual, and that the person that she was matched with and everything was always afraid that they were never going to find anybody and stuff. They had the insecurities on themselves, whereas she likes to be loved and cared, hugged and everything, but she doesn't like the other part of it. Because I have a friend that's asexual, and it's the same thing. It's like when you talk with them about, do they want to fall in love? They do, but they just don't want the other parts with it because they don't see that as love, you know? And to find out that this is you find out you have a wife at the same time, that was hysterical and everything, because especially when she says, oh, not this one, you know, and everything, because he's also the type of person that couldn't fall in love because he really didn't know what it was until like he met Rose or, you know, and met other people and saw it, you know, and stuff like that. And then with him and River going at it all the time, like, I wouldn't marry somebody like you. I wouldn't marry somebody like you. You're not my type. You're not this and everything. You just saw each person's perspective of how they would view each other. But then when you got to the technology of AI, it confused them because it never put in free will. It never put in the fact that maybe somebody has, like the gentleman, he maybe didn't know how to find love because he didn't know how to love himself, or there was something going on, or because everyone would leave, or no one ever picked, you know what I mean? And then because she didn't like the fact of she liked the romance, she liked everything else, but she doesn't want the physical, like I think it is physical, if you would say it that way, to be polite and everything. She didn't want that part of it. She could do fine without that part. But if she could have someone to love her and be like, you know, not platonic, but be, you know what I mean? Just leave out the other part, she would have been okay. But then to have the Doctor and River fight because they're trying to figure out how, like, he's in denial they're married. She can't say anything. And it's just that. And then with was it Apocalypse was next, or was it
Apocalypse is next? Yeah,
Apocalypse. Her crazy antics again. It was like he goes, "Oh, not again, not this one." You know, now he's starting to realize there's something with her. Like, what is her problem? And everything. Like, why does she always do this? Why does she have to like everything and stuff? And then they get to the point where it's the what do they call it? The trees or something. I can't pronounce what was it? They called each other the two characters that sounded like they're from Ireland. Basically, the what did they call it? The spur or something? What did they? In the face of the apocalypse, when they went back because the thing was in her vortex manipulator and everything, and they went back.
Oh, the spore.
Spore. Right, and they were supposed to be like the Adam and Eve creation, but all of a sudden you had Cain in the computer. So are we talking about the children of Adam and Eve? Like, was this one more religious based or anything? But it was showing that how love continues and like discrepancies in fighting, like, you know, before, like if technology gets involved or does somebody really love somebody, like the perception, it was all perception based. And that was she the real face of what the computer that was from the AI program that snuck onto her vortex manipulator, you know, thought what love was and everything. And was it going based on computer, or was it going based on that you were creating an AI entity that becomes human, like in Terminator and stuff, you know? But the cutest of it, even though I gave it a 7, was the fact with the last one, and I just forgot the title of that one. Basically, how do you grow old with someone you love? Like, but he cheated by going in her diary and stuff. So did he already know years down the road what was happening with her? Is that why when he decided to marry her, was it because he read what was in the diary and stuff and everything? So that's why they were always meeting up at different times and everything, so that he wouldn't interfere with time, but to grow old together and have all that coral be around you and everything, because he even said, you'll go before me because of how, even though you're a child of the TARDIS, your eyes are going to go first and everything. And it's like trying to, you know what I mean? But I got confused at the end. That's why I gave it the rating, because I didn't know what happened. Did they restart time when they got to the island, or it's going to happen over again because it's a continuous fixed point or anything like that? Like, that's where I got confused, and that one threw me off the most. So I understood the first one about who you're really meant to be with or how you see and perceive everything. Understood the second one because it was like a continuation of the first, but the last one just threw me for a loop. Like, I couldn't, unless I had the written word, I could figure out if they did go back in a time loop and everything. But her jumping in and out of time, getting seasick and everything and stuff, that's basically what half the empaths in the world feel whenever we get a time change around here. But otherwise, it was an okay story. It was better than before. Like you guys said to me, like maybe the newer Who would be better for me and everything. But I really do wish the closed captioning on this worked. I probably would have had a better concept of it.
I'm sure if you jump around their website a bit, find out why it's not compatible. Maybe you have a different device that it would be more compatible.
It's a netbook. I'm like, and it said that, yeah.
Maybe you need to be doing it in the app. Maybe who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I haven't used it, so I don't know, because I'm never listening to
I was shocked it even had it. It said, would you like to put the closed captioning on? I was like, finally, thank you. You know, because you guys said the newer ones are more orientated for certain things and stuff and everything.
The newer ones aren't 20 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is valid. Now let's just take a look. See here, Christian, are you ready now?
I am ready.
Okay.
And he's got his tenon specs, I call them.
Yeah. Look at him all fashionable and stuff.
The school teacher effect.
We just need to find him a pair of old school.
Oh yes, definitely there. That's the school teacher.
Okay.
Oh no, that's a sexy librarian.
My eyes. Shut up, Tom. Okay.
You got that screenshot, right, Tom?
I actually, when I first started to listen to Swipe Right, I think I gave it a lower score, and then I increased it. What were my scores? I think I made them up.
6, 5, and 8.5.
6, 5, 8.5. Okay, it was about a lower score, but I think I had my misgivings when John Dorney, he was the guy who wrote the episode, was doing about the forced dating app. You know, I did kind of do a rewrite. You know, I have a habit of like, if there's something I don't like, I like to rewrite it just a wee bit. And I think when it came to this one, I really wanted to see River's song. I would think it would have been different because I didn't know what the two characters were. I think when it came to the whole story, Starcross, have you ever heard of Scherzo, the Big Finish Scherzo? That's what I was looking more for like. And that was later on in the third episode. And they finally had their moment where they were forced together. Instead of a dating app, I think it should have been like a speed dating service. And they're jumping around tables, finding out what's going wrong with what's going on.
I think they've sort of done that before. I think they mentioned that in the bonus behind the scenes stuff. That they explicitly did not want to do that.
I didn't hear the whole thing. I heard maybe half of it. But I was like, I think they should have done a speed dating service, and somewhere in the middle, the two of them meet up and they find out they are totally incompatible. And they just want to get away from each other. But it's like she's not used to her. She's used to her doctor, but not this doctor. Remember, this is PTSD doctor. He's just gotten out of the Time War and stuff. And that's why I think she can't read him too well, because his character has been through so much trauma. We still didn't get to pick up where the Doctor is kind of moving away from the Time War until the 10th Doctor, and he's had that action with Rose. And he's finally let his guard down. He's finally taking another companion back. We saw that interaction start with Nine and Rose, but it finally came to its fruition when, like New Earth, where the Doctor is now relaxed. He's with Rose, and he's taking her somewhere where it's really relaxing and enjoyable. And you can see the Time War just kind of leaving him over time. He is still the space god. He is still the angry Time Lord, that pushed the button, but it's not bothering him as much as in this incarnation, he's done it. And I think that's why, in my opinion, River's song couldn't pin him down. Because you're the incarnation I can't understand. You're the incarnation I can't figure out. Because she wanted this. She already knows how this story ends, but she doesn't know how the progression of the story goes. And she's rushing to the end. And the 9th Doctor, what I love about this, and especially the 3rd episode, was like, why don't we take things slow? And I thought that was interesting because I really didn't know how River and the 9th Doctor were going to interact as much in their relationship now that we've seen what happens with 10, 11, and 12. But here's the time when they start to become friends. This is when everything comes to its fruition. I thought that was written brilliantly, that they were stuck together and they were working together and they had to spend some time with each other, just like in a relationship. And I always thought, where does the love begin in a relationship? Like, let's say you're a married couple. You're both in your 30s. Let's say you're both 35. Would anything be different if you met your potential wife when you were 25? Or if she were 25 and you were 35? Well, man, yeah, it's a little bit off, but you know what I mean. Would time be a differential in that progression? Does that make sense?
I think so. My parents met when they were 5.
Well, I'm not looking at the age perspective. I'm looking at the point in time, because she meets the 9th Doctor. And she's expecting, what the 11th Doctor finally gave her, which is, free range, and the flirtation and everything. And she wants that out of him, and he's not giving it because he really doesn't know who she is. And he, for that matter, he doesn't know who she is. And then when at the beginning of the first episode, it's like he was scoffing that he even had a wife. He's like, whatever, nobody's going to marry me, and I don't want to get married. So it doesn't happen until the 11th Doctor that we get the wedding of River Song, and all that plays out. I think I'm reading into this a lot more than I should, but after I heard the third episode, which I thought was brilliantly done, and I thought it came to its fruition as far as where the relationship is, and they explored a new dimension which I wasn't expecting. I really liked that third episode. I could really have done without the second episode, and I had to listen to that thing 3 times and go like, what the heck? What the hell is Spore? Adam and Eve? What the hell is going on with this thing?
Cain and Abel. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I know. It's just like, am I missing something? Am I not getting this? It was just utterly weird that I could not get these two together in that episode. Whereas the first one and the third one, I think, focus on the relationship a little bit more. I think the second one is kind of giving it a story. But when it came to the third one, I was actually kind of like, where the hell is this going? A boat, a skimmer, this stuff that's growing on them. Where is this going? And then finally I finally got my scherzo moment, meaning that these two were locked in together in a situation where they had to work together. And now the relationship starts. And now the relationship builds. And, she walked in, she goes, the doctor always lies. And he goes, no, I'm just really hard on myself. As far as we know, he could be lying then too. But I mean, with a complicated character such as the Doctor, I really like Starcross. I really do recommend this story to anybody, especially, come on, it's Alex Kingston and Christopher Eccleston together.
She was like, the way she was in that was the way she was in the series. That's why it was like I was watching the series, but then everything else threw me off.
I think some of that's going to be writing, and some of that is Christopher Eccleston has been away from. I mean, yes, this is his third outing with Big Finish, but he still was out of that Doctor for a very long time.
So is that why the voice was a little different?
Yeah, his voice is completely different than it was 20 years ago.
Oh, you know what? He sounds like, and I think Mark was just saying it. You couldn't make out his voice, and I said he does slightly sound like the Fifth Doctor every now and then. Mm-hmm. It does come in like that, but.
Yeah, he doesn't. His accent, his vocalizations as the Doctor are just different now. Mm-hmm. Whether that's he just hasn't got it back, whether that's just where it is now. There's definitely moments one or the other.
Meaning he matured his voice. Meaning he matured his voice.
It's the same thing as Tom. I mean, if you listen to Tom now, he is not as. And this is not in a disrespectful way. It's just, age and time. He doesn't have the energy that he did back in the 1970s. You can tell he's slowed down a lot. That's not a criticism. That's just an observation. But yeah, I want Tom Baker to still keep talking and have more interaction with his other selves, which is really fun. Mm-hmm. So,
oh, Tom, I don't think your voice has changed that much. Rev?
I don't know my voice half the time. As always.
Speaking of which, make him next. There you go.
Do you want to do a commercial break or not?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and. Oh wow, we are really on the late scale. Yeah, let me go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
And while we're at the commercial break, if you get a chance, please go ahead and if you've heard this episode, give us a 1 through 10. 1 being awful, 10 being great. You know how that works. When we return, we're going to continue our discussion and our review with Doctor Who Big Finish Audio. Starcross. When we return, please stay logged on, tuned in, and we'll be right back.
Are you a movie nerd? Do you collect VHS, DVDs, CDs, records, and so much more? Are you looking for clothing from 1940s to 2000s? Do you need cosplay or themed outfits? Come to Ducky's Vintage. We have it all for all budgets, located at the Oviedo Mall right off of the 417. Ducky's Vintage for those born in the wrong decade.
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room. We played from the bathroom. Thankfully, that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night, we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you, the kitchen is going to be popping.
Our ultimate goal, I think, would be to crash kitchens every Friday all around the world.
I'm author Mark Muncy.
And I'm author Erica Lance.
And this is Eerie Travels.
Greetings, travelers. Join us as we travel through folklore, myths, monsters, legends, and dark history.
Now, we'll be your guide to the spooky side of reality as we discuss cryptids, paranormal, and all things preternatural.
Sometimes we find the truth is way scarier than fiction.
We're on twice a week on your favorite podcast platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, and YouTube.
We have amazing guests from all of the areas of the strange and unusual, including witnesses, investigators, and more.
Yeah, with Erica's curiosity and ridiculous array of pop culture and true crime knowledge.
And Mark's decades of experience diving into folklore and the legends with the truth that's behind them.
Yeah, so join us, travelers, as we take you to the edge of reality, and we'll see you on the other side.
Right back.
Hello, I'm Sadie Miller, and this is The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
Now we're back.
Now we're back.
I will always sit back and give Sadie time.
Sadie's like
the buttons are a little sticky today, so there we go.
That we don't need to know.
That's too much information.
Not in that respect. It's just
nope. We're gonna. Nope. We don't want to be kicked off of YouTube, so we're just
shut
gonna do that.
Shut it down.
That's what I was trying to do.
You haven't been killed for the other picture and everything, yeah.
What other picture?
The you want to show them?
I'm not touching the buttons.
I'm gonna pick
this one.
Hey,
yeah.
Speaking of Billy,
perfect time to put up Billy Floyd's chat. Nice.
Billy, I'm so excited to see you at MegaCon. It's gonna be great. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, Billy's gonna be there with the Kitchen Killers, and he's got some special project. He's gonna be in the community center with us, and we are going to be tagged along with the Dalek Builders of Florida. So we are really excited about this. And it's only a couple weeks away, which is really scary.
Do you know roughly whereabouts you will be at MegaCon?
Yes, I literally just got it a few seconds ago. Hang on a second. Karina was asked. I asked Karina, who is the head of the Dalek Builders of Florida, and I will tell you right now, the floor number is 8158, and according to Karina, it's right by the headquarters. Oh God!
What did the what? No, wait, what? Wait, what headquarters?
The HQ stage.
Huh.
That means we're gonna get a lot of noise.
You're gonna get noise, but are the Whovians gonna be at HQ stage?
I have no idea. I know we've got 2 panels, and I put them up on. I think I put them up on the Facebook page, but as we get closer, I'll keep on posting it up over there.
I'm thinking, what if they accidentally have the stars see the TARDIS and that, and wonder, wait a minute, we should go out there and say hi.
Never know. And anything can happen at MegaCon.
See, they usually let me go loose, and I end up running into 5 actors and everything. And everyone's like going like, how do you do that? And I said, I don't know, and everything. So a lot of booths usually have me grabbing people and stuff and everything. So I was hoping maybe I could come out to see you guys, but knowing right now until I fix all this mess, yeah.
Next year.
Because maybe I could have gotten some of the actors to come with me with Squishy running around and, and stuff like that. And they'll be like, where's she going? Oh, to this table where the Dalek Builders are and where Legend of Traveling TARDIS.
That is the correct app, by the way, Tim.
Yeah,
I was
that
going
is
to say.
the correct app. I mean, if you can also get the Big Finish app, I would. Only if you can, because
it does not like certain phones.
it really doesn't like certain phones.
It doesn't like it. My phone, I thought the HRA thing was bad, but when I went to put it on the app, I thought maybe I could use the phone instead of the computer to get the closed captioning.
Yeah.
It turned. I'll give you a good example. Let's see if you see this. This is in English now. Finally, it took me 3 days to try to get these back to the wording here. They were all gibberish. If I can get it to. Let me get it with this out. Let's see if we can get it. Like, you see how it says power off, reset, right? That was all gibberish. I couldn't get it out. I had 3 days to try to figure out how to get it out. That's how bad it was with my phone.
Well, if you somehow can get the app, Jim, I would still sign up for Big Finish, because occasionally they will offer to download free episodes. I think The Four Doctors was a free episode that we reviewed a while back. So occasionally they'll give us a gimme, especially around the holidays, of free episodes.
They're doing a birthday thing for Tom as well.
Tom,
I think.
right? They'll give you a big discount and stuff. So just keep an eye on that, if only you can. I also think, and I could be mistaken if anybody wants to vouch me, Spotify, I think it has it, but you really got to dig.
Spotify has some, not all.
Has no, yeah. I mean, if you just want to hear
some,
Big Finish.
I thought I saw some on Prime, but I think they took them down because of Spotify and the connection and everything.
Maybe.
But Prime
there's
had
some
a
on Spotify. There's some on actually even on Apple Music. So there are episodes that are out there using other things as well.
Do they have? I don't think they have them on YouTube.
No, not officially.
Jim, I would, if you can get YouTube, I would actually sign up for the subscribe to Big Finish, because occasionally they will play an audio on their YouTube channel, but they do it live.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to listen to it on their terms as far as the time to watch it. Otherwise, you miss it. But sometimes on their YouTube channel, you can subscribe and they'll give you a warning heads up. Okay, this episode is going to be playing. And I think they even did that for their the Light at the End episode. It was just like, I think I have it somewhere.
Exactly.
But yeah, we want to help. If we can get you the free stuff, we're going to help you get the free stuff. So
exactly. All right, so Tom. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Dave.
Oh yeah.
What do you have to say now that we got you back here?
Is this a trap?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Big trap.
Only
But
for
now that
you.
I'm actually clear after 3 months of being foggy on screen. Okay, let's see.
Are you frozen, Trev? I can't see you. What's going on? Why are you upside down?
Because you're in Australia.
You did freeze for a second.
That's okay.
You are freezing.
He is freezing.
What?
And that's the weather these days.
Oh, that's so hilarious.
What? What are you? Okay, put him back.
Okay, I put myself back.
Put him back.
I did. I'm still admin.
Uh-oh. Okay. Vanellope's attacking.
I'm screenshotting all these.
Excellent.
Go ahead, Tom. What was your rate?
Made me forget now. Okay. Some about screenshotting. Yep.
I'm gonna.
So.
Son of a...
So the first one was what was it called again?
Swipe right.
Swipe right.
Swipe right. Okay, the first one. Yeah, how evil am I going to be on this show compared to my show and
Be
this
honest,
whole little
sincere.
family reunion we have here per se? Swipe right. So,
Really?
7, I think I did, because it's understandable. You run of people are unhappy. They're put together. Things happen, among other things. So, what? Oh, so the idea of River saying, "Oh no, not him. This is the Doctor. Just came out of the war, so he doesn't understand anything." Like, I honestly did. I had to look at the picture again and say, "Wait a minute, I thought this was Christopher Eccleston's thing." I could hear it sometimes when he gets to higher pitch, but when he speaks in his lower octave voice, it's like, okay, you don't sound like you did. But again, as I said, it's 20 years later. It was good. It was funny. Bethany. Now I like to get by Beth. Has her feelings, and Joshua, I believe it was, the married couple. That was hilarious because that's just life. So yes, none of these stories bothered me. I liked this whole series of stories. So as the second one is a direct sequel because of Abel, and I kept thinking, wait a minute, you have an Adam and Eve per se, and you have Abel. Is there a Cain involved? What's going on here? So it was interesting. It was still relating to the quote unquote Adam and Eve fighting like the married couple at the restaurant kind of thing. So those are relatable. The idea that the little AI went onto her vortex manipulator. Okay, a direct sequel. I'm good with it. Face of Apocalypse, having her face everywhere. It's like, who has pictures of their exes everywhere? I mean, don't look. Just saying. It's not on the thing there. Not yet. So that's, direct sequel, relatable, similar, but not as, spectacular to me. But AI, yeah. I was going to do a joke and I forgot the joke. Anyway, the third one, Apocalypse. The third one?
Face of the Apocalypse. Or
No,
the
that was the
third
second
one? No, I'm sorry. Archipelago.
Archipelago, thank you.
Okay.
I won't say it again because I can't say it. Being stuck on a boat, how he said she was upset at him because she read her diary. I mean, I read someone's diary and I just, I'm not going with that joke. I won't go with the joke. There's an agreement, but it's not an agreement. You did not have an agreement with him. He's just trying to find information. And then it led to them having a very nice, long relationship. But the idea of, as she said, he has to change. He's going to fix this to help everyone. Their relationship was fine. It was great, but the greater good is involved here. So that's why he left a note to himself in the past to say, okay, I'm going to do this. I got kind of lost on that part because it was after midnight when I was listening to this thing. I wanted to finish the story last night. But it's understandable. It's not a fixed point in time. He made the change occur so her vortex manipulator can be created, so the two husbands can be together. I guess then he and the two of them never got together in this third story. That's what again, it was after midnight when I was listening to it, and I just couldn't piece it out, but it was still a beautiful story. The time they had together, but he had to make the greater decision. That was for the best. Things had to change.
Well, of course, like the Doctor Who, the 5 Doctors, and the Day of the Doctor, it's always something like the time wins. Oh, you're going to forget and all that. So we had to have a Doctor's got a forget moment. But still, I got to agree with you on the moment where he reads the diary. You broke the value, but it made the problem. And that's what I mentioned about being earlier in his timeline. He was a different person back then.
Yeah.
She's expecting 11 and 12 to pop up. She's not expecting 9. It's the same person to her, but it's not the right time. And that's why he read the book, because he didn't make that promise.
Yeah. So your future, when he mentioned in behind the scenes, Whitaker, I'm thinking, is that a spoiler? Is it because Jodie is coming to Big Finish? Are we going to have something saying the wife of River? I did this myself again. The wife of River Song, and there's yes. Well, I didn't know you're married. Yes, it's something like that. Oh, yes, it is. Sort of, kind of. So that would be hilarious to do a story with finally have River and 13 together, but a little behind the scenes thing. But yeah, the third one was the better of them. Second one was like, okay, I understand it. First one, like, okay, this whole bringing me on here was a trap. I sense it. But and Now, from the husbands of River Song, because I don't remember, she had all the pictures of every doctor. Did she have his picture? Because at least she and he would have been together in the first two parts, but just not the third part. So she would remember the first two parts. And it made me think, well, if because of him, because of the PTSD, the way he is, how does she actually react to the first Doctor? So it's like, I want to know more about what other Big Finish audios has River Song in them, because I want to put them all in order, just to say, okay, in our chronological, on our order of doctors, I like to hear with her with every doctor. So yes, it was an excellent. And I would say it was, what was the last time I did the review for a certain other person that we like so much? This was a lot better. This was a higher storytelling than what we did before. And of course, it was mentioned on my page, I did a review of another audio, and the voice actor actually commented, "I'm so sorry you didn't like the way I sounded as this particular doctor. I will do better next time." I thought, okay, I'm not going to say anything bad about any actor again, but he still could at least describe. What are you saying?
Not about saying something bad or not saying something bad. It's about saying something constructive.
It was constructive. It was like, I could sound like a better first. I could sound a better first. I did it again, didn't I? I could sound better in that particular character. I'm just saying, because years of practice. Like Kermit the Frog, it was just, I didn't know the mainstream actor would come on and say, but he was very nice and polite about it. But
you never know.
You never gonna know.
I like and this is where I wanted to bring up Jim's comment and address it. Yeah, Riverside. River Song got married to the Doctor, so the Italian, the white Chinese.
It's a
with the meatballs.
That'd be a good crossover. Doctor Who versus Mario Brothers.
So yeah, River Song got married to the Doctor, so she's married to all the Doctors, but she got married to the 11th Doctor. Yeah, she's technically married to the same man, but like the 11th Doctor said at the end of his life, he goes, "You change, and that's a good thing. You just got to remember everyone you were at that, at one point or another." And I think that echoes to the 9th Doctor. Remember, this is PTSD Doctor. He just got out of the Time War. So he is more rough. He is more, he is, he's more no nonsense, I think, when it comes to the other Doctors, because he just doesn't tolerate it. I mean, he's calling, I did hear a part of the behind the scenes, Dave, when he goes, he dresses the humans as stupid apes. So, but he still loves them. But I think with the 9th Doctor, it's more, like I said, no nonsense Doctor. He just doesn't tolerate it, and he just goes right on ahead. Like, if I don't like what I'm seeing, I'm just going to walk away. So that's my opinion on that one.
Yeah. And so now that leaves us with Candyman.
So I'm just swiping right at the moment.
No, you get away from my picture.
He said it first.
So,
yes.
Matchmakers.
Yes.
Right, okay. The reason why I put that on matchmaking was the AI. The reason why I gave this story a 8 and a 6 and not just a 7. Because as a story, I think it's a good story and I will give it an 8. Do I actually like the story? Not that much. If you watch, if you watch UK reality TV shows, one of them is called First Date. And First Date is a TV show where basically single people go to a restaurant and have a meal with each other, with other single people, and see if they spark off this romantic bond or not. Which was basically that added with a dating app mixed together by an AI who's forcing the people to basically become productive by getting two people together. because the AI was basically thinking that to make more production is to make people happy, and if you get people together, that people will be happy together. Which we know everyone's individual and everyone's different, and some people are not happy being together with people. And I love the married couple right at the very beginning. They were very, very much like, have you guys ever seen Fawlty Towers? Can you imagine Basil Fawlty and his wife trying to run a dating restaurant rather than a hotel? They'll be bickering and arguing each other. And I thought that was a good idea. I found Christopher Eccleston, to start off with, I couldn't work out his voice until he started saying one word, which was scamp. And then as soon as after that, I could tell Christopher Eccleston's voice. And it was very good how they was doing, like, the Doctor was doing the same thing with Beth, and River Song was doing the same thing with Julian, which are the two other sub characters in the plot, who basically they were dating each other. And I love how they basically were mixing each other, doing the same thing but at slightly different times, and that worked really, really well. And I think it's a good story. I just don't like reality TV shows, like dating TV shows, which really put me off of it. The bad guy, which is the AI, which is called the Matchmaker, has his robots. The robots sound like stuff out of Battlestar Galactica, the 70s version, when they were all talking, and I was like, hey, okay, I can get past it. Fair enough. And so, as a whole, as a story, I'll give it an 8. For me personally, it's a 6. So that's why I said 8 and 6 rather than just a 7. So, does that make clarification why I said that, Chris?
Yes.
And
right,
I do.
Okay. Sorry, Christian.
No. I was about to say, I do love the end of the first episode. I thought that was brilliantly written by John Dorney, where the 9th Doctor comes in and thinks that the couple were forced together, and go, no, we're not forced together. They actually love each other.
Or even the worst one is, I felt sorry for Julian right at the end. Because, you stood me up. Oh, no, you stood me up. Oh, do you fancy a first date? No.
No.
And it's like, how to be so ruthless? You're just basically running your lot for your lives, and all you can do is just go on a date together. And we just went, no. And which is fair enough. People have got the choice. The second episode, I listened to it, fell asleep. I woke up in the morning, tried to listen to it again, fell asleep again. So, like you, Christian, it took me 3 times to get through that episode, the second episode. I can understand where it was trying to do. It was trying to get AI. He doesn't know love. He doesn't know what love is.
Right.
Foreigner.
And because of the subroutine from the Matchmaker, Abel was born as like a routine saying, I've locked onto River Song. River Song is the most beautiful person. I match with River Song. So therefore, I'm going to try to do everything for River Song, including taking out the universe. So it's going to say something he doesn't know who love is, but yet going to 2 extremes. That was quite an interesting concept. The bit about having the what's it called, the Southwest farmer accent of the first people of this planet, trying to be acting like Adam and Eve, and basically thinking what true love is compared to what fake love is. On the whole, it was a reasonable story. I think they executed it a little bit cliche on the second story. But on the whole, that's why I gave it a solid 7. 7.25. Not a solid 7, because I never do the solids. So that's where I'll go on there. And on the last story, on the last one, I got really into it. I was like, yeah, okay. I understand this. We're on this boat going through the Sea of Time, and Carl was getting through. They're spending their lives together. They're going to be bickering. the Ninth Doctor still doesn't know who River Song really is, per se. All she knows is that he was matched with her in a dating app. And yes, he's going through some PTSD from the Time War. He's got this person, River Song, and I must admit, River Song performed beautifully throughout the 3 stories. When she was on with her voice, she carried her voice, and you knew it was River Song. And literally, the chemistry between River Song and the Ninth Doctor worked well, because the Ninth Doctor wasn't interested, could be asked in a relationship or in anything more than that. But yes, because he's curious. He wants to know who this Doctor is. And if someone's curious about someone and you're not really sure where they fit in, of course you go and read the diary. Of course you go and find out information because you're curious. Point of view, it broke trust. But how can it break trust when the Ninth Doctor doesn't trust her? And so that dynamic worked really, really well until the very end, and when they decided to do a whole reset and reset everything so that all 3 stories were council out. Because when he done the reset, he doesn't say, oh, you're going to forget me what we just done on the tier, we're going to forget me what we've done in number 2. And for that, I just went, nah, I can't be asked with this story now, because I don't like the resetting. If it just reset that story, fine. But it reset the whole 3 stories. So that's why I gave it the lowest score.
Okay. That works.
So something to the fact that
I didn't know that
this reset or that something should have still like attracted the Ninth Doctor to her at the end, because now it's just got reset. Everything we went through, everything we've gone through, you know.
But that got all reset. It's gone, so it's pointless,
right?
And that's what I don't like about those sort of stories, when they reset everything back to square one. And so you like, okay, was there any point actually listening to this story? Because it's just reset.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my opinion.
No. I think it's a good story, but now I see where you're coming from. It's just like, well, everything that they developed that would have brought them into what would eventually be the 10th Doctor when she shows up at the library is now gone. There should have been some trace or remnants of something, at least, if they were going to, because he can't remember what River Song was. Because
that makes the 10th Doctor story in the library correct, because he wouldn't have any memory from the 9th Doctor.
Time was reset.
That's all been reset. It's been reset. So the first time the Doctor meets River Song in the Doctor's memory will be the 10th.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Sorry, I just spoiled the whole 3 stories in just saying it's absolutely pointless. I'm sorry.
No, I think that's a very good point. I think it's a very valid point. So yeah, why are we listening to this at all? Aside from it's a really great story, but as far as its canon, it's like, okay, this is just another thing in the life of. And I think there should have been something to at least. Yeah, he's supposed to forget her when she meets her eventually in the library, but
she didn't write it in the book.
Could there be some kind of trace or something that the 9th Doctor can remember, or something that could allude to that?
Only what may be written in the diary of River Song,
right?
Yeah,
because the diary is the fixed point of time.
That's what I thought too. But written in pencil, was it erased? I mean, physically erased, not by a eraser, but I think after midnight, I could not comprehend much. I thought it would just erase part 3. You say erase part 1 and 2, that drops my score. Holy hell! Bells.
So did part 3 begin before part 1 and 2, or part 1 and 2 begin for part 3?
So part 1, 2, and 3 was sequential, and then part 3 resets everything back.
Oh my God.
Dave.
I'm just gonna go with I'm gonna ignore the next comment and point out that my review wins. No takesy backsies.
Greg says so.
No takes
Good night,
backs.
everybody.
There we go.
No, I prefer Nick's
I'm
comment.
gonna just leave it at that.
No, Nick's comment.
We got a rating here. Times. Oh, wait.
There you go.
Time scale says Swipe Right has 8.2 out of 10 on the time scales out of 13 votes. Okay.
Yeah. As a story, I would say it was an 8, but to me personally, because I don't like reality, I gave it a 6. So that's why.
I feel it's a trap.
It is a trap.
I'm dead inside.
Whole three stories were.
When did we go to Star Wars? When did we go to Star Wars? Did we just change our fandom?
It's always a trap. It's always everything is Star Wars.
Here's a map. It's a map. It's a trap. Oh God! I'm
It's
sure
a terrible
if
Grogu shirt.
While there is breath in Tom Baker, I'm sure he will still record.
And they've been really they accommodate him. They don't bring him into the studio.
Yeah,
they go
take
to him.
the
He's the
studio
king.
to him. Like they pack up their own stuff and take it to his house, and he sits there in his pajamas and does it. Like they flat out said that. Did they say that on our show? Didn't Benji say that on the show, or was it one of the backs behind the scenes that they mentioned it?
Probably behind the scenes.
Possibly, yeah.
Outrageous. That's outrageous.
Oh, okay, Jim. What you got to do is this: you download the app, but however, you have to actually go to the website, to the Big Finish website, and sign up. And then once you sign up, it somehow links up to your app when you sign in. So first you have to go to Big Finish, sign up for the stuff. I'm sorry, it's been a long time. So since I logged in, but I think you just sign up in there. And then when you go to the app later on, you will you will find it on the website first. This is really odd. It's not you can go to the app and then search the app for it. The only thing that's on the app is anything that you've downloaded from Big Finish. I still don't get it, but it only searches for stories that you've personally downloaded. But the good news is once you've signed up and everything and then signed on to the app, you go to the Big Finish store and you can type in, like, I think there might be a section for free episodes to download. Now just be careful because some of the episodes, unless you want first part of the episodes, like a free comic book day, look for things that are full episodes. I think the Four Doctors may be still available. And then once you've downloaded it into your system or made the purchase, it goes to your app. I'm sorry, it's long and lengthy. It took me a long time to figure it out, and it was still like a pain in the rear, but there you go. So you got to sign up first, and then you can go and sign in on your app using your information. There's your Four Doctors.
There's your Four Doctors right there.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Physical versus digital media.
Yeah. As for me,
yeah, Dave, what do you think?
I think it was all great. See, there my review wins.
Yep.
That's outrageous.
No,
Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
So this is the second time I've reviewed this because I did do this on our station Who as well, and I don't remember what I gave it. And I only got to re-listen to some of it this recent time. So it's this bit of hit and miss on what I remember and what I don't. And I'm gonna go with 876.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And starting at the end, I think that Archipelago would, if it was a television episode, it would probably be one of the best ever.
Yeah.
It is one that is absolutely amazing. I'm muting Christian because he's rifling around. Yeah, it has the potential visually to be one of the best episodes ever. It's kind of like the Capaldi episode where he takes the long way around. That was an amazingly episode. Just the performances are so top notch. I just don't like that style of audio trauma. That is a me thing. Was it well done? Yes. Is my nose itchy as heck? Yes. Did I put myself off and sneeze a bunch of times? Yes. So that's my thoughts on the third one. Not the sneezing part, just the, it would be better in my mind. I'll just keep going backwards. I really found it interesting that the second episode could have almost been 2 episodes. It really could, because they start out in the bank, and there's this whole thing with River being basically having the perfect ratio and the perfect face, and she knows that. She just wants him to say it because she's snarky like that, and I love that. And this being their second time out together, so to speak, it showed. It was right from the beginning when he realizes this is her, that is her face that is being used as a master PIN code for all of these bank accounts and throughout history and everything. He's like, oh, you have got to be kidding me. No, not her. How did that? Oh. And you can see pretty much any of the doctors reacting that way. But especially having just gone through the first episode, it was terrific. It probably would have been better as 2 episodes. I didn't mind the whole, Spore and his girlfriend thing. I really liked that concept. I really liked how it all came together. It is, like I said, it was just one of those, here's the start and here's the beginning, and there's nothing to do with each other. I really did like the Able virus. I think that worked out really, really well. It was definitely something we don't see often. You don't see the TARDIS get infected. It's like, this is as the Doctor points out, this is the TARDIS. I don't need a firewall. Yeah, well, now you needed a firewall because you've been hacked. And I really appreciated that. And again, there was some great banter between them as a result. If I flip back, and I'm going through fairly quickly here because we are, because we're running on time. I loved a lot of the first one. I loved the concept of it. I loved the couple in the restaurant. That they were gold, and it's just so many. It does exactly what they wanted. They set it up as these 2 people just can't stand each other. They've clearly been forced together. No, what are you talking about? We love this. This is us. And are you hitting on my wife? No, I would never. Why not? Is she not good enough for you? Like it just goes around, and it's like, oh, brilliant. I love that they tackled the topic of asexuality. And it is, so asexuality is a spectrum, also known as gray sexual spectrum. And that has nothing to do with why I'm wearing so much gray. That's just complete luck. And they did a really good job explaining and showing that. Mm-hmm. There's a very big difference between someone who's asexual and someone who's aromantic. And there's a whole spectrum in between those and farther. Mm-hmm. And ironically, I really think that the Doctor Who has gone woke crowd would probably scream the same thing about this episode, despite the fact that it's giving them exactly what they keep saying they want. This Doctor who has no romantic interests in anybody. It is but they handled it really, really well, because not everybody is out, quote unquote. Not everybody even realizes their feelings are legitimate. And I have friends that are asexual. I've and aromantic, and all the way across. I've dated these people. It is a spectrum, and it's very individualized. and there's nothing wrong with it. And that's where this robot has missed out. And the fact that they finally brought out that this is what this doctor is fits. This is a doctor that has, aside from all of the repressed trauma of the Time War, that's just not how he's wired. Why? I don't need a wife. I don't need, a partner. I'm fine on my own. I mean, he needs a companion. We all know the doctor needs a companion. It doesn't work without. It's bad mojo all around. But, yeah. So it was just everything about this episode was a lot of fun. Was it perfect? No. But again, I think it hit all of the right notes. It commented on today's society. It commented on just kind of society as a whole, regardless of when we're listening to this. It will still be relevant. It may be a little bit, what? In a few years, hopefully, If you listen, would you have this episode 20 years ago? No. There were no dating apps. Maybe you had plenty of fish.
Or okay.
Like classifieds, in the paper kind of thing almost. The dating app was VHS cassettes.
You're showing your age, Dave.
I remember those. I remember those.
When I was your age,
it has showed their age.
We didn't have dating apps.
I just said that's the way that was. Not that I was.
No. My age would be meeting in a bar. That's my age.
Also fair.
Yeah, meeting in a bar and all that stuff and everything before they figured out what everybody is.
Yeah. So yes, there's all
I had
sorts
to
of
leave
options.
the house. We should go to work, and then we found people on the street in the snow.
Not the snow. Not the snow. So much snow. Oh, let me tell y'all. If you guys could get rid of the snow in about a week, I'd be grateful.
I only got 2 inches of snow over here.
I'm leaving here to get rid of the snow. I don't want to drive into it. I'm not going south.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say when it came to the asexual, I was a little confused. And not because I thought that the first thing is it really worked because it was a great device. I mean, it was just like, okay, computer, you're wrong. And here's the reason why. It's a human element, it's a human trait. Let's see, people were like that. Not only that, but Tom Baker has said in interviews that the doctor was asexual. What confused me is that she acknowledged it, and somewhere at the point she almost like she backed out of it a little bit, but then brought it back up when he asked her out again. So I was a little confused on that. But here's an alien, who can't fall in love. And we've already seen that establishment with River Song when she's the husband. I think, no, is it? Yeah, the husband's a River Song where she's on the spaceship, she's standing there, and it's like loving the doctor is like loving the sun. The sun's not going to love you back. And for a brief moment, maybe because of time and experience and how he's been, that he's kind of lightened up. Capaldi's doctor goes, "Hello, sweetie," which was the perfect thing to say. Speaking of perfect things, there we go. Ooh, yeah. There's your 3 stories right there.
Didn't the second story sort of cover that as well when the AI tried to love River Song? So if the AI, so River Song's loving the doctor and he's like loving the sun. So the AI loving River Song, that would be the sun to the AI.
I think that was the confusion in the first and the second stories with the AI saying that, but because the original AI was doing it for productivity, that if people were together, but it didn't realize the human element of, people want to be alone or people want to fall in love on their own terms. That's going to be another freaking episode. But it's the human element that threw off the computer because it thought it was doing right. Remember the example with the paperclip?
Mm-hmm.
That I think was a perfect example. It's just like you tell the computer, make all the paper clips in the world. Well, I meant, and I almost went back to iRobot, the 3 laws. So one law says, you can't hurt humans. The next law says you have to be told whatever happens. And the third law was you can, the second law was defend yourself. And then the third law was you have to obey all the humans. Well, what if laws conflict? So the rule of the computer was make as many paper clips as you want, but it saw it on a bigger scale. It's like, well, if I'm going to find all the resources to make paper clips, that means the human race has got to end for me to do that. So I kind of love that analogy out there.
I actually tried that trick on certain AI chat websites. I'm not mentioning any names, where I gave it conflicting moral standards of what to do, and it was very, very Skynet-ish answers I got back in the end.
I'll give you a good one. There's a certain app I was on, and they were doing as an experiment. They actually reversed everybody's scores that they didn't match with the correct people. They were doing it for an experiment purpose. They got in trouble for it and everything. So people that people thought they were matched with actually weren't matched with. Mm-hmm. And they never got along. And one is sitting in the UK right now.
Well, that's the other thing. When you were asking earlier, Gadget, what love is, I mean, the two at the restaurant, couldn't we say opposites attract? So if something is looking at people trying to match up something, sometimes what if something comes along where opposites attract?
That was addressed with Riversong and the Ninth Doctor in the very first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because Riversong's very, very action, got guns, firing stuff, and the Ninth Doctor was dead against that.
Exactly.
Was he more of a pacifist doctor versus then when he gets to Capaldi, was he, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. Because Capaldi didn't care. He was like, I think he was done with everything.
Yeah. He was just tired.
So if anybody wants to elaborate on this, I did buy it and hoping that they'll sign it. And here's, open this one too. Let me make my screen bigger. So these are what
can't you say each doctor has their own classification? Because 9 is PTSD given, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't have never thought asexual.
Actually, what was it? Tom Baker mentioned in an interview that the doctor was asexual.
No, his doctor, I could see it.
I think it was across the board.
He meant it to be across the board, but really,
okay.
Yeah, I think it evolved when 8 hit and he made his first kiss on screen, and the WHOniverse without Twitter went completely ape, including myself. I'm just like, he doesn't kiss anybody.
Because I was figuring like the first doctor would be like the grandpa doctor, because to me he felt like it was a grandfather. Second was like the crazy uncle. The third was like the good father that you want that can punch out somebody and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, third one I would say was special agent.
Yeah. Well, I always thought it was like a dad that was punching people out and everything, the way he treated Sarah Jane and everything. And then I thought 4 was like big brother, no feelings whatsoever. 5 was just a big kid. 6 didn't see enough of because it wasn't here. And 7, you know what I mean? You know why and everything and stuff, like everything the way it was. 8 and all that stuff. Yeah, everything was just,
Yeah, but when you're talking about the first 26 years, there was nothing to allude that there was anything. I think the closest thing we go in any romance, with the exception of the first Doctor accidentally being betrothed to somebody, and I think there might be even one more episode, something similar to that. The only time I've ever seen the affection, and tell me if I'm wrong, Candyman, is Terminus, when Nyssa kisses the Doctor goodbye. And she does it on the cheek. And I was like, wow, okay, this is kind of new. And I was like, he doesn't fall in love. But I think everybody gets that impression that, the Doctor will eventually go off with his companion. But I meant like it was, I don't think it was ever intended for that. It was always some kind of relation.
I would say even though the Fourth Doctor said that he was asexual across the board, but that wouldn't make any sense if the first Doctor had a granddaughter called Susan.
True.
No, you're right. What does granddaughter mean to a Time Lord? And was that a title that he just threw on her so that she could hide.
Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. So as far as biological relation, who knows? Or she could have just called him grandfather because that's the way she saw him. But she was
at the same time, it is worth noting, being asexual does not mean you can't have relations with somebody.
Oh no. It just
and
means...
there are plenty of there are asexual people who will, have sex with their partner and even have children. Because maybe they want children, they just don't like sex, right? Like it's not they can't.
Like I said, there's a spectrum.
Yeah, exactly.
Because in the asexual, there's also another part, which is what I am, hetero-demisexual, and everything. And like I sent you guys this, it says it's someone who's being sexually attracted to the opposite gender, but only when a strong emotional bond is formed. So if there's no bond, or you consider them like a brother or anything like that. It's nothing. That's why a lot of people I was always working with or anything, their husbands always would get along with me, and they couldn't figure out like what was going on. Like, why is there no tension? Like, they're not getting jealous and not getting whatever. I said, I only see him as a brother. I only see him as like another guy I could play video games with. It's like, stuff like that. But unless there's like a thing, I'm just bleh. Like, I'm just like, go, let's just play video games. That's all I'm like.
I do timescales. I have quite the hat collection.
I love the hat.
This one is actually, I hate this hat. This is the first time I've worn it. I've managed to get most of the kinks out of it, so to speak. It is supposed to be like that, but it came from was it uglyhat.com? It's a Facebook ad that said, oh, hey, we've got these great hats, and they're sent out in a box, and it's, American made, blah, 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 all of the things. Now, it's shipped in a bag from China.
It's disturbing me. That crease is just
that tells you who has OCD or not, because I like that. That's interesting.
Yeah,
it reminds me of lipstick tube.
The one, what it was supposed to look like is 8 million times better than this, and I'm gonna try and steam it so I can get a little bit more of the kinks out. Like, there's a masked one in the back here. It's like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, like it has been ransacked, and this is not, it's not actually supposed to be turned up on these, on the sides here, but whatever, right?
Bring that to MegaCon. Just to disturb me.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, what character was that from? Oh, the 19. Oh, what was his name? The character has that like that. Oh,
I'm calling you Spore.
All right, I can be Spore.
Was I the only one that looked that saw that couple and was just like, oh, they're from Green Acres?
I thought they were an old Irish couple. The way she was going, she's gonna go kill him.
No, but I mean, if you've ever seen Green Acres, there's like they're on a farm and they are complete opposites. And how they're even together, and she's complaining, and he's just like, oh well, I'm just
riding his tractor.
Yeah. See, for me, that was more of a Somerset accent, so. It was Somerset is very, very known for like combine harvesters and tractors.
She just reminded me of my grandmother when she would go after my grandfather. We
love you guys.
Dave, you want to go ahead and let's go ahead and close another episode?
All right. Well, all I can say at the end of everything, I think that we need to get, with a little bit of help from the matchmakers, we all hope that we all get a little bit of yummy, tasty, and
God, why?
She's gonna kill you.
I hope.
I didn't put it up this time.
Bring it.
No, she has to be on the show.
If I ever have the chance, if I ever see her at a convention, I will happily go up to her and say hello and say, we are tormenting you terribly on this show.
Could you sign this picture for me?
Yeah,
Mark already did that.
No, I would not do that. Nope, that's a step too far.
Okay, Meatloaf.
That's a step too far. If it was after the fact, like I would not start the conversation with, here, can you sign this? No, that is inappropriate. Don't pull that.
I would.
But you met her. She would probably recognize you on the spot.
And she doesn't remember me at all.
She probably watches this. She does. Probably watches.
Oh, I know. Whether she would recognize me on the spot, I don't know. But I have a picture of Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk from the Edmonton Fringe Festival. And they were doing a long-form improv show called Dynasty. And Nathan Fillion was the head of security. And Alan Tudyk was the asshead security.
I got it.
It was just like, but I have a picture of them with this, and
oh my god,
that one I made them hand them to him upside down, and their reaction, just both of them, just lost. Like Nathan's handler looked at it and went, "What the hell am I? I'm trying to figure out where this was," and he just kind of glanced up. That's Edmonton. That's the French. And Alan, when I got him to sign it, just about lost it. It was hilarious. So you can have fun with people in context, but sometimes it gets a little creepy, a little weird. It can be that, if they know you, fine. If it's some fine, but err when you're dealing with people, err on the side of polite. They don't always know that you're having a joke. Right. Hey, Rev,
like me in the voice acting world. I've known people for 20 years in the voice acting world. They joke with me. I'm little sister. I'm whatever. Then you get the other ones who just met me and they're like, okay, we know you know this one, so we're going to hang with you. But then you get the ones that are like, why?
Yeah.
like, who are you and why are you following me? I said, they sent me over to say hi to you.
Even ones that I've worked with will, they see so many people that, they won't even recognize me. And then you have someone like Monica Rial, who's got photographic memory and remembered me exactly from years ago. Rial.
Oh my God, okay.
She's fabulous. So when she was at MegaCon, was it 2 years ago that I was there, Christian?
Yeah.
She had two of her friends, a pair of twin flight attendants. I'm just gonna stop and let that.
Twins.
And they looked at this picture I had of her and knew exactly. They didn't know where it was taken because it was just a generic black curtain background, but they knew exactly when it was taken because of her haircut. Because they've been friends for that long, and she remembered me from that convention, from working with her at that convention. It's crazy. Anyhow, with that being said, why don't we go? We will close this sucker down. Yeah. Gadget, where can we find you?
The usual haunts: Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, conventions, maybe one coming up in August. Snag something for that one, but I just got to confirm one more thing on it and everything. But yeah, I'm all over the place. And like I said, you guys can always hit me up and everything. The only thing now, not at the DMV. So if you want to torture them, you can go torture them.
And Candyman, what about you?
You can find me on this channel here, Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, of course. And you can find me over at Spill the Geek Tea, where I'll be with Tom and other people from this show, maybe. And we'll have good times and chat and just have a laugh.
I see. Tom, you get a shout out directly. I am just maybe someone else.
Okay, and Dave.
Yeah. Tom, where can we find you?
Dave and the time scale.
It's okay, Tom. I'm confused too.
There's a whole strangely reunion per se, which
Yeah.
Anyway, you catch me on Spill the Geek Tea. Of course, you catch me on my regular page on YouTube, Reverend Amagon. You can listen to Velvet Chains on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and SXM. I forgot the thing what they're going on. Sorry, boss, I couldn't remember. And yeah.
Fabulous. And of course, you can find me right here on the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, over on Spill the Geek Tea when I'm able. Of course, my own channel, the Rat Hole DOTCA. You can find me for a short time more on X on that with that handle, but also Blue Sky with that handle. Basically, most socials, it's either going to be the rathole.ca or the Rat Hole DOTCA, depending on the platform and if they let you have that period in there. Other than that, you will find me again in a couple of weeks down at MegaCon, Pensacon, Gamma Expo, a little bit of time at SaltCon. And like I said, I'll be here from wherever I am on the road as much as I can.
And thank you all for joining us as you do every week. And please, God dang, how much is that? A lot of people out
We got to check it again because after tonight, I think we got our 50th.
Oh no, I don't think we got it tonight, but we are really close. But I will be checking in again there. So thank you all, 49,378 of you, and how many people already signed up again. Again, as Dave mentioned, don't forget MegaCon, February 6th to the 9th at the Orange County Convention Center. Get your tickets now. You can Google MegaCon Orlando, and we will be with the Dalek Builders of Florida, as well as you saw Billy Floyd just pop into the chats a little bit out there. The Kitchen Killers will be out there as well. And again, we're waiting for Nina. We hope everything works out for well, but just in case she's not available next week, we're reviewing Fear Her next week.
We're not fearing Nina. Okay, that does not make sense.
What's that?
Because they said we fear her, and we're just referring to Nina.
We're reviewing Doctor Who Fear Her. We don't fear Nina. We love Nina. Good. We are reviewing Fear Her episode, the David Tennant episode as well. Don't forget to say goodnight, Rose, on the way out there. And until the next adventure, folks, please stay tuned.
Can we just put David's picture up where he's constipated?
Good grief. All right,
Charlie
Tony, take us out. No! Good night, Rose.
Night, Rose.
Rose.
Good night, Rose.